if you're going to do DM outreach correctly, you're going to need to track your data and your prospects correctly as well. I've been helping hundreds of agency owners get more appointments through DM outreach, like this owner, or this owner. And ultimately, I just wanted to give you guys a practical, organized tool. And honestly, it's a Google Sheet that can help you track these metrics really carefully, whether you're doing it yourself or teaching a virtual assistant to track and organize their prospects, right? Because the last thing we want to do is forget to follow up with 5 people who are interested last week when they could have been appointment, and of course, some of them landing as clients. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it here. I'm just going to record on my Mac as well so you guys can follow along. All right, so here we are. So essentially, this is just all in one sheet. I'm going to go through each tab or sheet inside the Google Sheet by themselves. I've never figured out how people say sheets or like, you know, separate the two. But anyways, so obviously, if you're doing multiple channels, you can put it down here. This one for right now is just for LinkedIn, but you of course can add in like Facebook or Instagram. Then what you want to have happen is your appointments that are adding in the date that they did the outreach or connection or the prospecting. So today's date is right after 4th of July. So we're going to put 7/5/25, right? Just simply like that. You can also center it too. Why not? And then if you're testing different offers, which is what you probably should do to, obviously see what converts more and then double down from that, you can put in the actual phrase of the offer, right? So I'm just going to put parentheses or quotations right here for the offer. That way you can keep tracking, hey, again, we're getting more appointments with this specific offer, okay? Then if you have multiple appointment setters, you can, put them down here. Like we have one, his name is Glad or Gladwin. And then you can have someone else named Patricia. I don't know. And if you're going after different industries, which is great, you can definitely put them down here. So like eye doctors, surgeons, dentists, etc., orthodontists. Then you just go from here. Lead's name, Bob, Patrick, right? Drop their LinkedIn profile right here or their Instagram profile, city and location, right? Nashville, let's just see, Tennessee. Business name, phone number, email, pretty simple stuff. And then status. Now, this is the most important part a lot of people forget is you also want to keep track of where they are. Some of them are not going to be interested. I hate to say it, some of them rarely would block you, but you want to keep track of that in case the script, maybe the first message leads to a blocked message. Because the last thing you want is your accounts to go down because there's so many blocks frequently happening, right? So make sure to keep track of that. Booked appointments, of course, which is great. Unopened messages and seen, right? Kind of the status of where they're at in the conversation. And then from there, you just want to keep track of, again, similar to when you message them first, the follow-ups, right? So you can do first day follow-up, which can be, if they didn't message me back, I would do the next day. And then you can also do, the next day after that. Now, depending on where they are at the stages of follow-up, if they haven't replied to the first message at all, I'd probably just shoot one more shot with the follow-up, but I wouldn't spend or waste my time or the VA's time trying to follow up with people who haven't even replied back. Just do it once. But however, say that they did reply back to the first message and they are interested, just left me on scene, then perhaps you're gonna do maybe 3 to 4 follow-ups to see if you can get them back. Trust me, sometimes these owners are not trying to ignore you. They just literally get caught up in the day-to-day because they're business owners as well. So from there, then you can just have setters notes, like were there any specific objections, anything that they ask from us, their email, etc. And then you can leave your notes in here too, saying, great lead, this is exactly what we want. And the reason why you do this is not just for the sake of dropping notes. The reason why we do this is actually to reinforce the virtual assistant, hey, keep finding more people like this, or hey, this was not a good lead and here's why. Next time, let's make sure that we find more people like this, right? Trust me, it's going to help your appointment setters a ton when they get not only quantitative data, but qualitative feedback from you, okay? So now that is the kind of main channel or main sheet right here, but we're going to keep moving forward. So this is the KPI tracker. So at the end of each day, when they're done doing prospecting, what you want to have happen is you or your virtual assistant, dropping the date here. You don't touch the percentages, right? This is obviously formulas. But let's just say you made 100 connections. Great. Out of that, you got 10 replies, right? Out of that, let's just say you got 2 booked appointments. Great, that same day, right? And then that same day as well, let's say you got 2 intros. One of them was unqualified, so you take one demo. One demo taken. You made an offer, meaning you dropped the price, and let's just say you close the client. Great. So there you go. That's how the numbers work out right there. And then likewise, let's just say you're charging 4,500 for a 3-month plan. Then you do basically 4,500. Let's just say that you broke it up into 1 month or months. Then you do 1,500 a month for 3 months, right? So that's how it would look like right there, right? And you just have your appointment setter fill in essentially what I'm highlighting here. And then the rest is obviously the baton pass to you or the sales side. So this is a great way to obviously keep track of overall, how's your script doing? Are you bringing in more appointments? Because at the end of the day, we want to optimize for more clients, not just amount of booked appointments or even books shown, right? So there might be one, script or one platform like LinkedIn over Instagram where you're getting less appointments, but more people turning into clients at the end of the day. That is, again, what we want to optimize for, right? So that's basically what you want to do on a daily basis when they're working. And again, depending on what you have, you can break it into components depending on the channel. Then we have your client information. This is, again, great for your appointment setter to know who we're going after, where we're going after them, what is your service at the end of the day, what is the offer or offers. Give them the booking link. A little side tip here is you would want your VA to drop your earliest availabilities, not give them the link itself, because a lot of times business owners will look at that and be like, great, I'll go ahead and do it at the end of the day. Doesn't happen. They'll forget. Again, they're just busy. Sometimes they really are interested, but let's just get them booked in before they lose interest later, because time kills deals, right? And then you can basically drop all this information so that your virtual assistant or someone who's helping you with the prospecting obviously can go straight here rather than always asking you in Slack or WhatsApp, hey, can you provide me this information? And then this is probably my favorite thing, is dropping your ideal prospect, because if we're going to help the virtual assistant or someone who's helping you prospect find the right people, you might as well start strong and tell them exactly who they are, what to look for in the LinkedIn profiles, in the Instagram profiles, what do they look like posting, right? How many followers usually do they have? Okay. And then from here, now we go, right? We prospect everyone here, even the booked appointments, but we want to also add in an exclusive sheet for the booked appointments, so that you can keep the people who actually are interested and book the time with you in here. So essentially, if I can, I'll just leave it. But basically, you just want the basic information here: email, phone number. On Instagram, transparently, we like using female accounts because they get a 3x reply rate over us dudes. It's unfortunate in the world we live in, but hey, it works. But basically, you can drop the kind of profile you leave: Stacy, Ashley, whatever. The date it was booked, what's the time zone that they're in. And then the intercall status. This is something that you or your team that's taking the calls, their SDR setters, have to put in. You just put in intro taken, demos booked, no showed, follow up, canceled, rescheduled, or lost. And then demo call status, right? Same thing. And then close, lost, meaning like you didn't close them. They said no, thank you, or future follow up because time or financial constraint. And again, you just keep track of cash collected. That's optional since we're already doing it in here, the KPI tracker. Same thing, clients notes once you're on the sales side. And then, for example, that's where you can keep track of the data based off what you input here. So that virtually is how I utilize Google Sheets and how I organize things. So I know, hey, this script is working, this platform's working, this offer's working, that we're making sure that the appointment setter is getting more optimized and more accurate on who we want to go after, right? Rather than just saying, oh, this VA sucks, let's find another VA. Chances are you're going to go through 1,000 VAs if you don't train them or manage them or train them properly on who to go after. So I hope this helps. I'll link this sheet down below so you can grab it. If you have any questions, check out this other video about how to actually develop a script over DMs so you actually get appointments instead of just guessing on what works, how to get people actually off of the DMs into your calendar to meet with you and actually have see if your service can help them. So check that out. I'm going to link the video down below or right here so you can see how we help other agency owners get more appointments. Thanks.